So the Ottawa Senators have signed a player today, and maybe I should have titled this video that because people who weren't really paying attention to the news would automatically think it's Drake Batherson or Brady Tkachuk. But that's not the case, as the Ottawa Senators have signed forward Scott Sabourin to a one-year, two-way deal worth $750,000 in the NHL and $200,000 in the AHL. And yes, Scott Sabourin is back in the Ottawa Senators organization. This time around, though, I would have to think he will not be making the team out of camp like he did 2 years ago. Obviously, the last time Sabourin was here, the Ottawa Senators roster was a lot easier to make. Now it's a little bit harder for a player like Sabourin to make it. No offense to him, it's just the player he is, though. He'll likely play most of the year, if not the full year, in Bellville, although I could see the Sens calling him up, especially if they play a team with a big tough guy like, say, the Rangers, who have Ryan Reeves. We all know that Sabourin did fight Ryan Reeves back on October 17th, 2019 in Vegas. He probably didn't win that fight, but hey, props to him to standing up to a big tough guy like Reeves. And that really showed the Ottawa Senators organization that Scott Sabourin is willing to step up and fight anyone who, bullies around any of his teammates. He did play one game in the NHL last year for the Toronto Maple Leafs in which he fought Milan Lucic. He cut Milan Lucic wide open. So Scott Sabourin, he cut a big tough guy like Lucic open like that. So that goes to show he's a better fighter than I think people give him credit for. But I don't know, the enforcer role, it's not really a thing in the NHL nowadays, and I think more than likely Sabourin should be in the AHL, protect the youngsters down there rather than being up in the NHL. I think the Sens have a lot of guys who can do that job. Austin Watson, even Brady Tkachuk if called upon, Nick Paul as well. And even throw big tough Nick Holden in the mix too on the back end to drop the gloves if he has to. And for me, and I think this holds true for most Sens fans, Scott Sabourin will be known for that time Auston Matthews looked over his shoulder as if to say, who are you? But then Sabourin, what does he do? He goes out and he scores his first NHL goal against Auston Matthews' Leafs, and that was epic to see, that's for sure. And I remember rooting for Sabourin to score in that game against the Leafs. I didn't think it was going to happen just because he has a hard time scoring in the American Hockey League. But to see him score that goal, like I said, it was epic, it was awesome. And to see him humble Auston Matthews like that was pretty cool. And that goal he scored was a pretty nice goal too, so maybe there's a bit of goal scoring touch there for Sabby, I don't know. Probably not, I'm probably reaching a little bit when I say that. It was probably more good fortune than anything. But good for him, he gets to make a couple $100,000 even if he does stay the whole year in the American League, which more than likely you'd have to think he will be. So some of my thoughts on the Scott Sabourin signing. And yes, as I mentioned Brady Tkachuk and Drake Batherson earlier, those guys are still not signed. I still have faith though that it'll get done in good time. I hope it doesn't drag on to the season, into the season I should say, like I mentioned in an earlier video. But let me know all that and more in the comments down below. Also, please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.